How everybody, it's Craig from Doc Sports, back with Doc's Daily. How about for Monday, April 28th, last Monday of April, and it's Kentucky Derby week. My favorite betting day of the year is just 5 days away. I cannot wait. I've already got a long shot kind of selected, and I'm going to have some big exotics. So make sure you stay on. Towards the end of the week, we'll be talking more Kentucky Derby. But don't forget, every day, go to docsports.com/free60. If you're a new customer, that's where you can get the free $60. That's free to get on our top plays every day, including I'm on a hot streak, 10-2 run the last 9 days. Got a 7-unit play in the NBA. Griffin, tell me you're hot and tell me what you got tonight.
I had a rough Saturday. Yesterday was a good day. We got right back on the board, smacked our 4-unit in the NBA, smacked our 4-unit in the NHL, or no, 7-unit. I'm sorry. I had the Capitals last night, 5-2 winner. And then I swept baseball, went 2-0, had the Tigers and had the D-backs. So yesterday was a very successful day across all sports. Dialed in today. I have a 5-unit best bet when it comes to MLB, as well as that's part of a 2-play card. 1 selection on the ice, that's a 4-unit. 1 selection on the NBA side of things, that's a 4-unit. And 1 player prop, and that is a 4-unit as well on the NBA hardwood, Craig.
So that's right. $30 per day per sport and $99 per week per sport. So make sure you check that out. You can use this free 60 if you're a new customer. Of course, if you're an existing customer, just go to the grid. Nick, how was your weekend, and what do you have big for today?
Yeah, I think I got to stop hanging out with Griff because I had a bad Saturday too as well there. But we bounced back on Sunday, especially on the diamond. We did have the D-backs there on a 4-unit play. And the NBA side of things, we're heating up too. In my last 15 plays, I'm 12-3 there, up over 3,000 in profit. And then on the ice, I had the Los Angeles Kings. I went to bed. I fell asleep on the couch. They were up 2-0. I woke up and they lost in overtime there. So a tough beat on my side of things, waking up to that. But we're back on the ice here. We got a 2-pack. And as well, the NBA and baseball, we got a 2-pack. So we're locked and loaded, smaller volume, but we got a big week ahead, especially in the NBA, Craig.
Hey, so like if you think like you having a good streak, you get us goal with, I had Edmonton last night, 6-unit play. Edmonton scores with what, like 30 seconds, 27 seconds left, and then unbelievable overtime wins in overtime. So that's when you know you're like, you're seeing things well, is when you get the breaks. The breaks go your way. Instead of being 10-2, I would have been 9-3. Still good, but it's like these are the kind of breaks as a bettor. You get a couple of those in a week, and then you put it with a good week. It becomes a great week. I want to say, see this? I'm a Bengals fan. An F. We had an F for a draft grade for pretty much everyone out there. We tried to outdo the Bears, taking the terrible tight end, the worst of the 2 tight ends, in my opinion. We went and just drafted a guy that has 3.5 sacks. 3.5 sacks in 3 years. Like in the first round. Like he might end up being the next Clowney or, like Reggie White or something, maybe. Who knows? But his production did not say so. So my Bengals, we're trying to do it the hard way. We're trying to do it with less talent. So
while we're on this topic real quick, Craig, I want to ask you, what are your thoughts about Tyler Shue and Dylan Gabriel going ahead of Shedeur Sanders in the draft?
I mean, Sanders might not be,
because his quote unquote press conference was bad. That's why he went 5th, 4th.
Shedeur Sanders is, I don't know if he's a superstar. I don't know if he's a backup. I don't know what he is, but he's better than those 2 guys. I'm just going to say that.
Tyler Shue sucks.
If you said, hey, we just want to get a guy that's going to play on our practice squad, okay, now I understand. That's why you drafted that quarterback. But if you want a guy that has a chance to compete for the starting job, Shedeur Sanders was that guy.
Exactly. Yes.
Now, the jinx of all jinxes, the Browns ruin every quarterback. I mean, Baker Mayfield wasn't even good when he's there, and look what he's doing now. So, I mean, like, I feel bad for him because he goes to an organization that doesn't know how to put quarterbacks in the right spot.
Well, they got 6 of them now, so they get to pick one.
Yeah, they got Flacco, they got Deshaun Watson, they got Gabriel, they got Sanders, they got them all.
They have Kenny Pickett's going to be the starter.
Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett he wasn't terrible when he was, but I don't know. Shedeur Sanders will get his opportunity there. Let's just say that. With the guys that are there, he's going to get his opportunity. And that's all you can ask, I guess, in a given day, if you're a player, an athlete, is that you have a chance to show you're at the highest level. He's going to have that opportunity in a very tough division. Got a good defense, pretty good running game. So, can they protect him? That's been a problem there. So I'm interested to see what happens in my AFC North. That's for sure. All right, let's talk some sports and free picks. How about that? Let's go with Major League Baseball first. Not a big day in the NBA today, just 2 games with, of course, the Thunder sweeping. But let's talk Major League Baseball. Nick, why don't you kick us off? What do you like as a free pick?
Yeah, let's look at the Yankees and the Baltimore Orioles here. The Yankees are a slight favorite, minus 130 on the money line. That total sitting at 9.5. And these Yankees, they're coming in this series on a 2-game winning streak, just taking that series win over the Toronto Blue Jays there. While the Orioles, in their last 10 games, they're 3-7 here on a 3-game losing streak, just getting swept by the Detroit Tigers. They're on the road. At home, they're a game below 500 here on the season with only 5 wins here. I just trust these New York Yankees bats a lot more than I'm trusting these Baltimore Orioles. I think they're a falling knife here. Their offensive run production has been down this whole month of April here. I'm going with the hotter team, the hotter bats, and that's the New York Yankees there on the money line over this falling knife in the Baltimore Orioles, Craig.
Brandon Hyde is big hot seat. Very good that he gets swept in this series. If so, I have a feeling he's not going to have a job by midweek. So I never want guys to lose their jobs, but sometimes you just need a change of voice. And an Orioles that had, coming off a couple seasons where they had some promise, basically the same team back. So a lot of people thought they could take the next step forward. Has not happened. And they're so far back in a very competitive division, very tough to make that up. And, if you're in a division that's not good in baseball, maybe. But that's going to be tough to pass the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Rays, the Blue Jays. It's every team in that division is pretty good. So what do you like as a free play here, Griffin?
Yeah, Craig, I'm looking at this matchup. We got the Athletics rolling into Texas to play the Rangers. Rangers minus 115 on the money line. Total sitting at 9.5. The Athletics, man, they're playing way over their relative strength index. This team is outperforming their talent pool, and they've got to come down and retrace. We know Patrick Corbin, he's on the bump. He typically sucks. In a Rangers uniform, he's 2-0 with 14.1 innings of work and a solid 3.77 ERA. Texas, they're also a stout 10-3 at home. 15 wins on the season. 10 of those wins have come at home. I think Texas sustains their home field dominance here and takes game 1 of this 4-game set. So give me the Rangers here on the money line minus 115 over the Athletics in this one, Craig.
Yeah, like Corbin, I put him right into the winning circle 2 games in a row. I said we're going to fade him. We're going to fade him. He's looked like a freaking Cy Young candidate.
I know.
I kind of like the under in this game. He's been pretty good. Sears has been pretty good. I kind of think this game goes under the total as well. But my free play, I don't know how anybody can't fade the Rockies. You just take the Braves minus 1.5, doesn't matter. Minus 2.5, doesn't matter. You want to get things right, go play the Colorado Rockies. And I watched that entire series because my Reds were playing them. The Reds tried to even give away my run line. I believe was that Saturday or is it Sunday? I forget which one, but they still covered. This is just not a good Rockies team. There's no redeeming factors. Your Chicago White Sox should get to play them every day.
They're better. It's close. It goes neck and neck, Craig. It does.
Well, you know why they're better? They don't play at mile high, like the altitude. So, you at least could see guys wanting to play in Chicago. If you're a pitcher, no one is going to Colorado to play. I don't care the humidor balls. It doesn't matter because the ball still travels farther and you don't have a lot of talent around you, so you're not getting a lot of wins. So, yeah, I would just until things change, run line, extended run line, doesn't matter. Take the Atlanta Braves today. You get minus 167 on the money line. You get them at basically even money, minus 105-ish on the run line. And you could lay minus 2.5. Lenny, what is it? The minus 3.5. The minus 3.5 is probably plus 210.
Got him up. He's got minus 6.5 over there.
Yeah. This is before you know it. About usually it's what? It's September, August. Once the trade down goes, the late August, when they don't even list the minus 1.5 on the really bad teams, it's just automatically minus 2.5. The Rockies are going to get to that in record time. They're going to get to that in May because this team's bad.
Oh, I'm not going to argue it. What they got? One win on the road this season?
Sox
Yes,
will be right behind them.
they're 1-14 on the road, but they're 3-9 at home. Like most
Terrible.
teams, even the worst teams are usually within shouting distance of 500 at home. This team has no chance. No. Braves -3.5 at +168. Nice. All right, so let's move to the NHL, and we'll finish up with the NBA. Like I said, just 2 games today in the NBA. This has been some of the best hockey I've seen in a long time. And usually the early rounds, you get some sweeps, so you kind of get out of the way. They've been pretty competitive hockey in most of these series. Nick, why don't you kick us off since you're the guru when it comes to the ice? Even though I did have the Edmonton Oilers in the miracle last night. You tell us what you like.
Yeah, wasn't happy about those Kings, but let's look at this. It's a tight series between the Colorado Avalanche here and the Dallas Stars. Colorado is favorite on the money line here, again on the road, -140 here against the Stars. And we know the Dallas Stars play their best hockey here at home, but the total sitting at 6. This series is tied here 2-2, game 5 in Dallas here. And like I said, this Dallas Stars is a dog price. I would sprinkle a little money here on the money line with the Dallas Stars being back at home, having home court advantage here, or home ice advantage. But the total seems a lot more interesting in my eyes. We've seen the tight defense in game 4 there, while the Colorado Avalanche scored 4, but you've seen that tight defense on the Avalanche side. I think the Dallas Stars step up here defensively. We see a low scoring total here. I say the team that scores 3 goals in this matchup wins tonight. So I would take the under 6.5 total goals in the Colorado Avalanche and the Dallas Stars tonight, Craig.
Yeah, I mean, I think this series is going to end up. I kind of thought this one had 7 games written all over it. Like I thought these teams were pretty close. And to be honest, this is one that I also thought could win multiple series, whoever wins this. So I always thought like this is going to be a pretty competitive series. When it's competitive, I always think unders because I just think it's so hard fought. I mean, just like that, like most of these close games have been under games. Every once in a while, like the Edmonton game 1 when it went 6-5 or whatever that was, they came storming back. But usually close games tend to be unders. You have any opinion on this other game, Griffin?
Unfortunately, I do, Craig, and unfortunately, we're not even going to talk about it anymore. We're going to let it go. We got the Tampa Bay Lightning rolling into Florida to play the Panthers. Panthers -145 on the money line. The Lightning, they came into Sunrise, Florida, down 2-0 in the series. They came out and scorched a 5-1 win in that third game to make it a 2-1 split. Well, not split necessarily. Tampa Bay, though, in that matchup, they dominated on faceoffs. They went 0-5 on the power play. They lost on hits and they lost on shots. And they still managed to cap off a 5-1 win. Tampa Bay, they haven't played their best hockey in this series yet. And I believe tonight is a must-win situation for them, and they're going to leave it all on the ice. I like the Lightning in this matchup on the money line, +125. I think they take this game and split this series up to 2-2, Craig.
I mean,
I hate saying it. I want to see these bastards done. Whatever.
What can you imagine? Because basically it'd be a 14 parlay, all underdogs, right? It was all the favorite. They've been the road team or the home teams. Road teams won every game, but they've been the underdog each game, right?
Parlay the other one.
So it's like that's pretty crazy. That I mean, I don't know if there was a prop out there. We got to ask Raphael if there's a prop where every road game goes 7 games, every road game wins. I don't think that's ever happened.
Crazy. I wonder if that's ever been done before.
I can't imagine it's been done. Like obviously, you go 7 games, probably say 5 road games, you could get a win. But if all 7, that would be something else. But this is whoever wins this game wins the series, in my opinion. If Tampa Bay wins, I still think they can win this series. If they lose tonight, then they're down 3-1. It's over. It's over. So I thought, to be honest, when they were down 0-2, I thought the series was over. So we'll see. We'll see how they play tonight. I stayed away. No hockey tonight for me. Didn't love either one of these games. When I play hockey, I'm only playing like 3 to 4 games, even during playoffs a week. And this is like when I was looking ahead to the schedule, like this is a good day to skip because I could make arguments on both sides. All right, let's go to the NBA. NBA, we did get the Thunder sweep. The Cavs are going for the gentleman's sweep, right? No, is this? No, yeah. They won all 3 games.
Yeah.
The Cavs won 3.
Yeah, they've won 3. They're going for the sweep tonight. The Celtics are going for the gentleman's sweep. What's that? Tomorrow, the next day. So we've seen some series that haven't been as competitive, and it kind of makes sense because the top teams, the Celtics, the Cavaliers, and the Thunder have been the best 3 teams all year long. But tonight, the Cavaliers are probably playing without Donovan Mitchell, right? I mean, they didn't have any problem the other night. They're an 8.5-point favorite. The Rockets and the Warriors, it does sound like Jimmy Butler's going to be available tonight. The line moved from 3.5 to 4, so that didn't mean for sure, but I did have some rumors out there that he's definitely going tonight, that he probably could have went last game if it was like game 7 type. So you guys have a free play on either one of these?
Yeah. I'll jump in. I got a totals play. We got the Cavs rolling into Miami to play the Heat, total sitting at 211.5. Cleveland, they, as we mentioned, lead the series 3-0. They've dominated this entire series, let alone the entire season, finishing first in the East. Miami, they don't have the depth to sustain this Cavs offense, and it's become obvious all season, all series long, game in, game out. I believe Cleveland's going to torch them tonight and shut them down defensively. I like the under 211.5. We have a low total here, huge point spread. That gives me an incentive that this is going to be a one-sided game. So I'm on that under 211.5 in this one, Craig. I don't think even without Mitchell, it's going to slow this Cavs team off. They're playing with pure momentum right now. I mean, they're just absolutely dominating. They won the last matchup by like 20 points, 30 points. I think they come out and one-side this game. I like the under 211.5 here.
Yeah, I mean, like I always said, this game might be a team total that I kind of like, because if you think that the Cavs win and cover, you'll probably think that the Heat can continue to struggle to score, because they've really struggled in this series. Game 1, they did okay, especially through 3 quarters. But like the first 2 games went over, last game went under. Can they make shots? Like they go on long stretches where they can't score. And guess what? The Cavs don't go on long stretches. The Cavs can absolutely score the ball. This might be a Cavs over team total, Heat under team total, like, you know what I mean? Because I just don't see how that both of those don't happen tonight. So I kind of like both of those if you like team totals for tonight. Nick, you have any free play maybe on the other game?
Yeah, let's look at it. The Houston Rockets and that Golden State Warriors. This total is sitting at 202.5. We know the Golden State Warriors, they lead this series here 2-1, headed into game 4 here. And in my eyes, this is a must-win game, obviously, for the Houston Rockets here. You don't want to go back to Golden State down 3-1 in game 3. The Golden State Warriors won by 11 points. They're getting Jimmy Butler back, is what Craig is saying here. So you know out of the gates, this Houston Rockets team has to score a point in this game to even compete here tonight. I believe they score over 100 points, and I know the Golden State Warriors, especially with Jimmy Butler back in that lineup, are going to score points. So give me that over. I like this over 202.5 here. I think this easily goes over, as the Houston Rockets, season on the line. They got to score points here. Not saying they're going to win, but they got to score to even have a chance to win this game tonight, Craig. So hit the over in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's harder for, like, if Jimmy Butler is right, which, you never know. If a guy's playing, but is he playing like, 90% where he's basically himself? Right. Or is he going to be 75, 80% where he's like a hindrance? Because really, Jimmy Butler is an effort guy, defense. He does all the little things. That's an effort type thing. And you always don't do that if you're not feeling good. So that'd be a big question for me. But the Warriors defense with Jimmy Butler's out there, their ability, it almost is the death lineup back when Kevin Durant was there, where they could just switch everything. Draymond Green's at center. The Rockets have to play big. The only time they really have affected the Warriors, game 2, when Butler went out, you can't just got to throw that one away. But remember the 4th quarter of game 1? They went big. They played both of the big guys together, including Steven Adams at center. And Steven Adams had like 10 offensive rebounds in the 4th quarter. That's what they have to do to beat the Warriors. You can't beat the Warriors playing small. You play small, the Warriors are going to beat you. They're a much more talented team offensively. I think the Rockets just got to say, hey, we're going to play triple towers. We're going to freaking just pound the shit out of the Warriors and make the Warriors get away from the small lineup, because the Warriors can go bigger playing post, or they can play Looney as well. So it'll be interesting to see, because this series, really the Rockets haven't made some, I don't think, very good adjustments in my opinion. And I think this is a series that they got to swing for the fences here, because you lose tonight, like you said, you got to win 3 games, and 2 of them would have to be well, they'd have 2 home games, so they'd have to sweep the last 3 games. That ain't happening. Not with Steph Curry on the court, unless Steph Curry gets hurt. So, but my top play tonight is in this game, Warriors and then game. So make sure you get in on that. It's 7-unit play at the website. And let's talk a little though, like, this NHL, we start to look ahead, Nick. Is your opinion changed at all now that we've seen where the series are? Is there a team that maybe that you didn't, one way or the other, that you thought may have a chance to win it all, but now you're like,
No, it's very evenly matched. I mean, these first round, these teams, they're very evenly matched. And a series that I look at was that Winnipeg Jets. I wanted to see what those Jets did. And then now this series is tied here, that 2-2 with that Winnipeg series. So very interested to see how that one soups up, and as well as this the Dallas Stars game. That's going to be a huge game in that series, and I think winner of this series will go far in the playoffs. Either the Colorado Avalanche or the Dallas Stars will make a run in the playoffs. So we'll see. Come down to 3 games in the series here.
Carolina 4-1 right now to win it all. Colorado 7-1 with Florida, and then 9-1 on Toronto. Everybody else, including Vegas, Toronto, Washington, all like 10-1, 11-1, and Dallas 12-1. So, I think this is. I would not be a buyer on 4-1. I think 4-1 is crazy, Carolina, because I think it's way more wide open than what that suggests. I was thinking before I looked this up, as I was throwing it to you, I just pull up the odds. I was thinking 6-1, maybe 6-1, 6.5, like 6.5, 7-1 in that range. 4-1, that's crazy. There's no way. I can't imagine. We'll talk to Raphael come Wednesday if there's any liability. I think he said there was not any liability in the NHL this year, that everything was a plus, I believe, when we talked to him last. So that'll be interesting. Griffin, any change to your opinions on, like the NHL playoff as far as champions?
Not necessarily. I think Toronto's played very, very well in this series. I think they end up capping this series. The one shocker series has been definitely the Wild and the Vegas Knights. And I mean, this Minnesota Wild team just playing phenomenal defense. They've got a split series at 2-2. I didn't expect this Minnesota team to sustain against Vegas. I thought Vegas would come out and rope them 4-1, maybe 4-0 even, sweep them. Minnesota has played very good hockey. Other than that, they're the only team that's kind of popped out to me and shocked. I mean, Oilers and Kings, we expected that to be tight. We knew Carolina kind of would run away with this one. Toronto played a lot better than I expected over Ottawa. Other than that, everybody's been pretty close up. Colorado and Dallas playing very good hockey. Expected that series. The Tampa Bay Lightning and Florida Panthers, that was a series that this was the only one that I looked at after that first game and was like, okay, Florida's got this one in the bag. They're going to absolutely drill them. Once Tampa Bay took that most recent victory in a 5-1 fashion and they got outplayed the whole game, it kind of put me in a situation of, Tampa Bay gets this game. They're kind of setting themselves up for success. Other than that, every series kind of just went the way that I've expected, which has been close. Everything's been close. So
Tampa Bay is now 19-1. 19-1. They win tonight.
Really?
I bet that drops to 14 or 15-1. So it's like if you and I also saw Minnesota. Minnesota is 36-1. I wonder what that was when they took game 2. Like, you know what I mean? I bet that was a lot lower. So it's kind of like kind of about like timing. When you're betting the futures, it's somewhat timing. To me, I'm always looking for 10-1 or more when I bet in the future. And I'm also thinking, who can win this series and the next series? Because then I can probably double my money and get out if I feel differently. Someone gets injured or whatever, I can still opt out and get a little cash out and get a little plus money on my wager. So NBA, I don't think there's any change because, the Heat have been great, or the Cavs have been great. The Thunder have been great, and the Cavs or the Celtics, even though they were pushed, they're just finding ways to win. They're winning without Drew Holiday. People don't understand how good Drew Holiday was. An Olympian. When he was an Olympian, he was the 6th man for a reason. He can guard anybody on the court. When he's not there, games are going to be closer. I don't think you're going to see him in this series, though. I think they're like, hey, we're going to hold him out as long as possible, because if you're going to win a championship, you got to have a healthy Drew Holiday. So that'll be interesting what we see for the Celtics and Drew Holiday and the Celtics. I believe they play. Do they play tomorrow? Let me look. No. Yes, they play tomorrow. Tomorrow there's 4 NBA games, so including that the unbelievable series, the Clippers-Nuggets series. I don't know if anybody watched that game and that tip-in. I mean, first of all, everybody talks about the tip-in. They lost the fourth quarter by 20 points. They were up 20 going in, or 18 going in, and had to tip that shot in. Otherwise, it goes to overtime. They do not win that game. So what a saving dunk tip by Gordon. Aaron Gordon, unbelievable play. I when I watched it live, I was like, no way that counted. It felt like the buzzer, because it's so tight. And it's like, I was like, it had
1 second left, right?
Yeah.
On the
Yeah.
clock.
I mean, like Kawhi's playing out of like Kawhi Leonard, if he could play like this is why people get frustrated.
Kawhi is playing, bro. Oh my God.
They're like, dude, if this is the Kawhi that we saw in Toronto that carried them to the championship. If they get past this series, they play the Thunder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Thunder cannot be wanting to play it because like sometimes just one guy is just that good, and he is that good right now. He's playing, and James Harden too. I have put James Harden under the bus and backed over him like multiple, just like pulled it for it, back up, like I've ran over this guy so many times because let's be honest, he's a loser. Like he has lost when he's been up. Was it 3-1? They were up to the Warriors, right, in that series, and he was the MVP that year, and the Warriors come back and beat him, win the championship. We saw what he was when he was in Brooklyn, but he has been a great player this year, like under the radar. People don't talk about. He kept them in this when Kawhi was out, and so great series there tomorrow. So, quick question on the 3-pick today. Did you mean
Donovan?
Donovan. Gotta be. Hold on, let me look. Let me. I'm sure he's talking about the Premium Plus. Let me just.
I got the playoff brackets. That's what I was pulling up. OKC 4-0 sweep. Yeah, Clippers or Denver. That's going to be a hell of a series. That's going to be the best series probably till the finals.
Donovan Mitchell. Yes, Donovan Mitchell. Sorry. Donovan. Because Davion Mitchell's total tonight is like 10, I think, or 9. So yeah. So that's the Premium Plus. People don't want to. We sometimes forget. It's just $49.99. You get 3 Premium Plus plays every day. That's 3 expert plays from some of our cappers here. I do the video, but we got somebody coming on board that's going to help me with the videos every day. But 3 premium picks every day. That's a $90 a day value for $49.99 a month. Plus, you get Indian Cowboys Premium Plus Level 1. So it's like a $2,700 value to get on the Premium Plus. So make sure you check it out. Okay. What do we have? I had something else. Oh, Kentucky Derby. Don't forget, Kentucky Derby this week. Not only are we going to give out our premium plays, or some of us give out premium plays that you can buy, as always, we're going to be talking kind of horse by horse come Friday with Robert. We're going to kind of give just peruse over the top 4 or 5 prospects and just kind of give you our breakdown on those. So make sure you stay on board for Friday when we'll talk a little Kentucky Derby. We're not going to necessarily give our picks, but just kind of give you what to look for because you got 20 horses this year, as always, and just kind of help you out. We also are going to have a March, or like we had the March Madness betting guide. We're going to have a Kentucky Derby betting guide where every horse will be broken down, get some betting tips on how to place bets, all kinds of things, and it's free. So make sure you stay on board. I think it'll hopefully be done tomorrow, if not on Wednesday. So we'll have the link for you so that you can get in on it. So don't forget, like and subscribe. I thank you for everybody for watching. Nick, I hope you're right on these NHL games tonight because I'm going to put just a little.
It's not much.
Just a little parlay in those games tonight.
Dog plays tonight. Let's go.
All right. Hope all your bets are winning ones, everybody. Don't forget, we'll be back tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for Docs Daily. Good luck.